All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, of course, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Harakak Dash. Double honors, of course, to the Apostle Bills, great millstone who rule well. Honors to you, our Kim, out there doing this work of truth and sincerity, because anybody who lives a sacrifice to bring this 144% truth to the elect that are scattered abroad, the four winds, as well as Shalom to the hopeful one third, which consists of men, women, and children. Um, you know, in light of the current state of affairs, kind of here in Babylon as well as globally, it's kind of clear, it's air apparent, that we're in the final stages. I don't want to say the final stages, but we're watching the downfall of Esau Edom, man. And this has been prophesied to us, since the Old Testament. You see what I'm saying? And, these things are inevitably going to happen, man. And, this is why, Yahweh, told us, love not the world, not the things that are in, because he knew the times that we're going to be in, man. You see? This is why we're supposed to store our treasures in heaven, because this place is temporal, man. It's not built to last, so to speak. It's not enduring. This place is for a season, like the Elder Malcolm says. This place is really a prison house, man. And the big misconception is that you're free, but for most jakes, especially in this truth, man, there's no freedom here, man. There's no so-called um so-called sovereignty, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? Not to say that you could just do whatever you want. Of course, we got to do what's lawful according to the scriptures, and according to the 613 law, statutes, and commandments, and not just the so-called 10 commandments that Christianity teaches you about. However, we're not even sovereign over ourselves, man. We rely on grocery stores for food, malls for clothes, you know, um, gas stations for transportation, and we're stuck in Esau's matrix, and we have to slave away, you know, um, on the new version of the plantation where, yeah, you get paid, but the system is designed to take all that, you know, that wealth, because, slaves could, at at a certain point, kind of buy their way out of slavery or be bought out of slavery. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, um, now there is no such, less than 1% of people are farmers, and I'll get to the point, but less than 1% of people are farmers, and going back to the year 1900, one out of every five people was a farmer here in America. So that just goes to show you that we're all caught up in Esau's system. We're all locked into his power grid, his internet, um, his banking system, his financial structure, we're a part of this place, man. But we have to understand that um, we have to use the world but not abuse it. Spiritually, we have to release ourselves from this place, man, because it's clear with everything going on. The global state of affairs, man, that this place it isn't gonna rock for too much longer. And it's only those that have eyes to see that can see it. If you ask but I mean, even a 6 pack a day Joe Blow Edomite will tell you like, hey man, things are getting crazy, and so even the people that haven't been given the eyes to see what we see here in this truth, man, according to Great Millstone, a regular 6 pack a day Edomite knows something's going on. They're stocking up ammunition. They're buying fucking rice and dehydrated foods and this, that, and the third. Because they can feel um, what's to come, and they're being warned by these economists and these people in the know on YouTube, so to speak, I guess you could say. And we're at the precipice, man, of something very big, man. The downfall of Esau Edom, because man, he's gonna try to accomplish that which he's sought after for so many years, man. But it's gonna come to naught, man. He's going to try to implement, this MOTB and have everybody be a tracked, controlled, slave, through, that charagma being implanted in you, um, and that's going to be the final straw for his kingdom, and then very, 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 very shortly thereafter, nuclear missiles will be launched on this place, man, and it will be completely and utterly decimated and destroyed, man. And that's a beautiful thing because it goes to show you, where your heart should be. This is why I always bring up, your heart, your treasure should be trying to be stored in heaven, man, because this place is temporal, man. Regardless of the power Esau has, regardless of how much he puts the squeeze down on Jacob, we know that once he brings out this MOTB, it's over for this place, man. This is why, even if you go back to the year 2000, when the prophets were a little bit younger, you know what I'm saying? That's 22 years ago, if you go back to the year 2000, Esau had the infrastructure and the ability back then to chip every man, woman, and child here in Babylon, America, man. But he hasn't. He's trying to prolong his kingdom. You see, and this is what the Most High knows. This is why he says in the scriptures that he had to shorten the days for the elect's sake, lest there be no flesh left to be saved. Roughly paraphrasing. So the Lord knows. Hey, man, this is why these days and weeks are going by fast as fuck, man. Feels like just yesterday I was at camp with the brothers. It's already Friday. We got Saturday, and then I'm at camp. So these weeks are flashing by, man, and. The Heavenly Father does this for a reason, man, so that His word be true. So we have to trust in the things that the Heavenly Father give us. Before I start in Jeremiah, let me actually get, because there's always new people. Just because you know it doesn't mean somebody else does. This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So us knowing these things is preparing us for the turmoil to come. See, we know what Esau's plan is. We know all these wars are proxies, and these so-called financial distresses on the stock market, these so-called famines are all engineered, and are being used by Esau through his, Hegelian dialectic, which is order out of chaos, to push the MOTB on humanity. What I mean by that is he's orchestrating these events, worldwide, through the spirit and power of the Heavenly Father on the left-hand side, to back us into a corner to push that MOTB on us, man. Through many different ways, this is why, the internet was created. It was created for us to get the truth out, but it was also created to, hook, those that were willing to take the chip into a Internet of Things, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? Because they're talking about, well, it's going to be able to detect COVID. It's also going to be able to tell the government right where you are, your exact location. It's going to be able to tell them your heart rate. It's going to be able to tell them so many different things that are going to make it easy for them to control, track, and pursue you, But, back to the point, that's not something that we should fear. We should always understand who ye ought to fear, as Yahushua said. And he said, fear not him that can kill the flesh, but the spirit also. You see, that's who we should fear. All Esau can do is kill the flesh if it's sanctioned by the Most High. No other way. See, that's the thing you gotta understand, So it's if it's sanctioned by the Most High, man. But going back to Jeremiah 49, it says, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? So they can't foresee the things that the men of the Lord see. You see, they think that their endeavors are going to come to fruition. They think they can actually fight Yahushua when he returns. They think that they can actually control the children of Israel and circumvent prophecy. Flee, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Debon, for I will bring the calamity upon Esau the time that I will visit him. So he's going to bring calamity on the Edomite. The Edomite is going to receive a sore destruction, partially from himself, when, Babylon America, finally takes on Russia, and the host of nations. However, the Most High is going to also visit him as well. If grape gatherers came into thee, if they would they not have left some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they had enough. See, so Esau is not going to be left with anything therein. Why is that? Because he's taken everything from the children of Israel. He's taken our wealth. He's taken our history. He's taken our culture. And then not only that, but he's taken our homeland and he calls himself us. So he's literally even took our very identity from us. So this means when the Most High visits him through the different means that he will visit the Edomite, you see what I'm saying? He's going to have nothing left. Not a heritage, not a lick of pride, not an ounce of power, not a fucking shekel of silver, not a fucking bar of gold. Esau will have nothing. See? But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. So through the men of the Lord, starting with the apostles on down, they've been given the secrets to the scriptures. They've been given the eyes to see and the ears to hear because Yahweh Shai broke that seal for us. You see what I'm saying? And gave us this understanding of the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? He was found worthy, to break that seal. Him breaking that seal allowed us to have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You see what I'm saying? So that his secret places could be uncovered. So this is why continually, week in and week out, every day, there's constantly a video going up from a brother somewhere in the world. You see what I'm saying? Exposing something of Esau, breaking down the scriptures, edifying this truth. And he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So what does that tell you? Hey, man, the elites of Esau have never been spoiled, man. See, it says his seed is spoiled, so his people, for the most part, the average six-pack a day Edomite has about $30,000 to $40,000 of debt. They can't fucking go on a vacation whenever they want. They don't fucking own yachts, planes, and fucking massive ships. They might own a small parcel of land, if that. They might be paying on a 30-year mortgage. So, really, Esau has taken everything and heaped it unto himself and those specific bloodlines that control everything. He hasn't even shared with his people and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not spoiled. So, hey, Jacob being his brethren and his neighbors, these other heathen nations, we've all been spoiled at a certain point in history. You see what I'm saying? But Esau has never been truly spoiled. And the world has never balanced itself out from the negative energy and sowing that Esau's done. Scriptures say, that which a man soweth, that shall he reap. What is Esau sowed? He sowed rape, robbery, and murder. Bloodshed, taking cities by blood. You see what I'm saying? Stealing heritages, calling himself the other heathen nations as well as Jacob. Anything to hide his self from being who he really is, man. Just like Cain, man. I'm gonna skip a little. Verse 12. For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. So who is that? That's Jacob, man. That's the tribes of Israel. We were supposed to be in our homeland, following the word of the Lord, but because the Heavenly Father saw a better suited covenant, we were caused to go off through our own iniquities. You see what I'm saying? To be put in this place. You see what I'm saying? To have drinking of the cup of the wrath of the Heavenly Father. You see what I'm saying? But Esau's never drank of that cup. And see, we were designed to be at the top. That's what this is saying. We were designed to be at the top. We were designed to be the kings and the priests of the world, man. We were designed to be pretty much the example to mankind. You see what I'm saying? And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? So the Most High is asking, thou shalt not go unpunished. Now he's telling you, but thou shalt surely drink of it. So you think in your head that, Esau, he thinks in his head that he's going to be able to establish his endeavor. He thinks that he's going to be able to, charagma every man, woman, and child. He thinks he's going to be able to, enslave all of Jacob and really do away with the whole tribes of Israel so that he can sit in rulership for eternity. He thinks that this is a definite possibility. Why? Because the Heavenly Father has stayed his hand and stayed his wrath and carefully crafted a narrative that shows Esau in his own mind that he's unbeatable. You know, he's looking at all these other nations. He's like, who could take me down? China's sitting over there. They're not going to do shit. I mean, I'm kind of worried about them. But, you know, if America and Australia and London and Canada and Germany and Poland and so on and so forth, if we all fight together, we can fucking beat these little gooks. That's how he thinks, man. Um, Verse 13, I have sworn by myself, this is the Lord speaking, saith the Lord, that Basra, which is a chief place in the ancient world of Esau, and you can consider America Basra as well, shall become a desolation. So this place is spiritually Basra, a reproach, a waste, and a curse. So this place is so this is the pinnacle of society, which they call America. The forefront of civilization. You see what I'm saying? We'll bring all your people here, and you could serve us, and we're the best nation, and we have the best laws, and this is where the heathen comes to get rich. But it's going to become a desolation, meaning it's going to be desolate, nothing there, a reproach. It's going to be reproach, just like Jacob is in this current state. Just like how you look at niggas, you were going to look at the place Babylon, America, because of the wrath that it receives from the Heavenly Father. You see, a waste. All the wealth, all the glory that is ever got, which is through shame. They shall be filled with shame for glory. America, is going to be wasted, man, and it's going to be a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. Going to be never inhabited again, man. There's never going to be rebuilt. It's never going to be, okay, you guys learned your lesson. All right, we'll pat you on the back and go live in your own land. No, because you never faltered in your pursuit of your brother Jacob. You've always had your foot on our neck since the Most High allowed it, because of His word not being able to come back void, man. And us having to go through these things in order to establish, the house of David, in order to have these generations between, David and Joseph and Yahushua, man. You see what I'm saying? Because all these words had to be fulfilled. We had to have that chief priest, so to speak. We had to have that king. We had to have that ruler over our people, man, so that prophecy be fulfilled, man. I have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador, so a messenger, is sent unto the heathen, so a messenger could be also an angel, saying, gather ye together and come against her. So what do you have? You have China being built up. If you go back 20-something years, if you go back, well, I'm about almost 28, I'm 28. So if you go back damn near to when I was, barely coming into school, the Chinese dollar wasn't as powerful as it was. The Chinese country and the nation wasn't as powerful as it was. Yes, they built goods for cheap, but, it's really been the past 15 years or so that you've seen economic strides that no other country can compete with. This is why China is the #1 economy on the planet right now. But even going back in my lifetime, a little less than 30 years, China was not on this level. So this is the Most High showing you that He built them up. Not just China, but look at North Korea. North Korea was a laughing stock, and now, Kim Jong Un has ICBMs as well. And so many other nations are building themselves strong. India used to be a vacation destination for the British, socialite class. You see what I'm saying? And now they're a formidable opponent to China. They have a military. They're a little slightly less advanced, but what they make up for that in ingenuity. They make up for that in computer knowledge. They're right there. The Chinese and the Indian are right there. Ishmael and Moab, excuse me, not Ishmael, Elam and Moab are tied neck and neck for some of the best computer scientists in the world, man. So really, the heathen are being are saying that they're great. They're putting off that small mentality. arise ye and rise up against her to battle. So, they're tired of taking these sucker punches from America. They're tired of these backwards, unfair and wicked dealings that America's done. They're tired of these Edomite elites backdooring into their country and kidnapping kids and tearing apart families. Man, they're tired of you know seeing that wealth gap increase from the poor of their people and the ones that have some skills, man. And that tension is only going to grow greater as America continues to go on that same path. Babylon America doesn't know how to adjust course. Just look at Babylon, or excuse me, just look at what happened with the Afghanistan war. Just look at what happened with the Vietnam War. Look what happened in Korea. The Americans, America Babylon does not know how to change course. It stays on the same course and it runs over whatever it runs over, and then the media does a patchwork job of explaining away these casualties, explaining away the loss of this amount of billions or trillions of dollars, explaining away the further increase in the wealth gap. You see what I'm saying? Explaining away why jobs were sent from the soils of the U.S. where people could be employed to the third world countries where they can only pay people cents on the dollar. And people are tired of that. And verse 15 says, "For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men." And right now, China's winning the hypersonic, the hypersonic race because just like we had the space race, in the '60s, now the new race between the global superpowers is who can, create hypersonic vehicles and weapon systems, that beat the sound barrier. And why do they need to focus on beating the sound barrier? Because that's the closest thing to the speed of light, And if they can beat the sound barrier, they should be able to beat, most countries' defensive capability, so to speak. You see, so right now, China winning that race, this goes to show that Esau's being made small. His engineers, these defense contractors that, couldn't be beat for decades and, helped establish America's dominance, these weapons manufacturers, these armor manufacturers, and everybody in between, they're being made small. No longer do they care. Russia has, Satan II, which, flies into the atmosphere. It comes down like a space vehicle, man. Can't compete with that. You see what I'm saying? So they're not in that place of unquestionable rulership now. You see what I'm saying? Now it's a fight for who's going to be on top. And this has been prophesied in the scriptures, and you're seeing it. You're seeing the posturing. You're seeing China on the precipice of invading Taiwan. You're seeing Mad Vlad do whatever he wants over there. You're seeing Kim Jong ready to launch those ICBMs on the West Coast, man. You're seeing all these things, man. In a lifetime where when you can think back to when you were a child, everybody in the world said America's the best place in the world and it's unbeatable and this, that, and the third. And just look, 2 decades later, man. This goes to show you the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. For the Heavenly Father, He's lifted this place up just as He lifted Pharaoh up. And Pharaoh got to a point where he's like, damn, I'm the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Whatever I say goes. Whoever I say live, live. And whoever I say die, die. And look at Egypt now, man. A fucking joke, man. Couldn't fight fucking... It's not even considered a world power anymore. Couldn't fight fucking... Denmark if it wanted to. Egypt couldn't fight fucking Australia or Finland, let alone America. So we're watching the Most High build up the modern day Pharaoh to show his power, man, and to save his people yet again. But only this time he's saving a remnant. He's not saving the whole nation. He's not saving you motherfucking dope dealers. He's not saving you little fucking piece of shit little fucking youngsters who want to fucking pull guns on every fucking body and fucking caused bloodbaths in Chicago and Oakland and Detroit and fucking Miami and Dade County and fucking, Fort Worth, Dallas, Houston, you know. He don't want that shit no more, man. So what he's gonna do, he's gonna take that remnant, you know, that was foreordained from the foundation of the earth, that remnant that always, you know, um, heard and seeked the voice of the Heavenly Father. Granted, they may have sinned, but those sins are going to be blotted out because they were ordained to return to the Heavenly Father. And here in Babylon, you're never going to be able to serve Yahweh in perfection, and they did their best to put off those imperfections, and that remnant is going to be who's going to be saved, because I know I read about the destruction of Esau and Jake, they think, oh, yeah, we're all going to be, yeah, you're all going to be saved, but, 2/3 of this nation is going to die. What about the cartels that run South America? What about you corrupt cops in South America that, people are scared to call because you might fuck around and be part of that cartel? You might fucking rape this dude's wife. Excuse me. You might be fucking helping get those motherfucking packages to the border. You see what I'm saying? So all that corruption, it's the same people from the Bible and ancient world. You were corrupt and you sold your people for fucking nothing, and you turned on your own brethren for the sake of dollars, man. And we can't have that if we're going to establish a perfect and righteous kingdom under Yahweh Shai, man. So only that remnant is going to be saved, and we have to pray, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Ratazah, that we could be of that number, Wipe us clean from our iniquity, Psalms 51, cast me not away, O Lord. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not up to us. You don't just come in this truth and, oh, I want to be saved and I'm out of here. Like, no, nigga. Like, what have you done that's deserving of perfection? That's what we have to understand. This is why, going back to the book of Esdras, in the Apocrypha, we cannot count ourselves worthy, man. This is our reasonable service. This is what you were supposed to do as a fucking a proverb and a byword here in Babylon, man. You ain't fucking special, dude. And for some chicks, it's really hard to fucking get that through their head because they have the 2/3 niggas that sold their soul for fame and riches. So you think somehow you as a nigga are special? No. You're not. Esau can pick any fucking, and he does it. He could take a nigga like Flavor Flav, give him money and status, and watch all the fucking bitches that would never touch that cockroach looking motherfucker a day in their life, fucking clamor over this nigga and live in a house with 30 bitches. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta understand, this is all about the Heavenly Father showing, principally Jacob his power, but the world as well, because the world to come is for few. You see what I'm saying? It's not for everybody. You see what I'm saying? So just understand that, because, a lot of niggas get it misconstrued. You're fly by night, cross by camps, and I'll listen here for 30 minutes and I'll listen there for 30 minutes, and you really don't ever soak up nothing, too deep, these niggas gotta know, like, hey, you gotta show your faith by your works, man, and even that's just reasonable service. You're an unprofitable servant. So let's go into why you an unprofitable servant. Because the Heavenly Father doesn't need you to get his message across. You're doing nothing for the Heavenly Father. He can get the message across in fucking a billion different ways. He could just wake up all of Israel like that and be like, you guys come here, you guys are my elect, I'm killing everybody else. See what I'm saying? So don't sit here and fucking, that I have to check myself when I'm in a pity party, man. When I'm in a bad mood and fucking life has been kicking me in the fucking nuts and I'm headed to camp, you know what I'm saying? I have to check that a lot, Because, hey, we got to come as newborn babes, man. Basically, and this is why the scriptures also say we got to die daily because, just like, I'm reading about Esau's desolation and destruction. 2/3. Matter of fact, let's get it just to be, squared away and, edifying. This is Zechariah 13:8, and it says, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein." And he's talking about Israel right here. So 2 parts are going to be cut off and die. And I will bring the third part through the fire. What's that fire? The furnace of adversity. You see, to be tried and be made as gold, man, and silver. And will refine them as silver is refined. See? And will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they will say, the Lord is my power. You see what I'm saying? So he's only looking for that remnant to call his people right now, because go back to the Book of Judges. All we do is go off, piss off the Lord, get chastised, get put in captivity under some nation that should never be ruling over us. You see what I'm saying? But this is all to show you that the Most High is fair as well, because they've all had their time to rule over us. So for as many times as we've gone off, it's been for the benefit of another society to have us and to, learn from us, even though we were their slaves, man. And you can look at that and understand. Like, look at Elam. They still have arranged marriage to this day. You know? Where do they get that from? Jacob. Look at Ishmael. Why are their women covered? They got that from Jacob. See? Europe. Look, that civilized so-called society bullshit. That was off, kind of. You see what I'm saying? Well, that was off. You see what I'm saying? Who they get that from? The Moors. You see what I'm saying? So, the remnants of our society are in all the people on the globe, man, because we were the principal thing. Um, but yeah. Anyways, let's go back to verse 16. Thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and and the pride of thine heart. And some of the people are going to be esteemed as the heathen and as Esau. So you got to check that pride at the door, man. Oh, that thou dwellest in the cleft of the rock, and that holdest the height of the hill. That who holds the height of the hill? Who's at the top? Who's really at the top? You can't say Barack Obama's at the top. Look at how the presidency was treated when Barack Obama was in office. He was basically, a little bitch boy. You see what I'm saying? And then Trump gets in office and he's allowed to sign all these bills and this, that, and the third, and you know, oh that thou the dwellest in the clefts of the rock, who holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle. You see what I'm saying? Hey man, you live in those penthouses, that the so-called International Space Station, the Beverly Hills, these houses on the hills. Guess what? I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. So as high as you've reached, as much technology and military might, as strong as the sword that Isaac blessed you with was, man. You see what I'm saying? Through the Heavenly Father, you are going to be brought down low, man. And a lot of brothers fear Esau because, his gift is the sword. But he's the basest of men. He's the lowest of men, and his gift is the sword. This is why he's ruling in the last time, because iniquity had to abound. Also, Edom shall become a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. So this place is going to be a thermonuclear fucking ash pit on fire for generation after generation after generation after generation in the kingdom, man. And people are going to hiss at it. Like, that was that wicked ass fucking place. That's where, the Israelites were housed, and the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Gad were fucking heavily persecuted, and all the northern kingdom was um, um, beguiled and messed with and fucking and destroyed and fucking bought off, or CIA manipulated. You see, they don't even know what the CIA is, but you know what I'm saying. They're gonna see it and just hiss at it, man, and be like, "Fuck that motherfucking place, man," you know. Um, Verse 18, the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. So no human, no man is going to abide in this land. This is how much Esau has tainted this place, man. And you gotta understand, we don't know the full extent of everything this devil's done until, the elect are on those ships, and, they're given those in indestructible, incorruptible bodies and full use of their mind. And, Yahweh Shai shows us, the things that, these motherfuckers have did, before we go put them in chains, man. When brothers get to see what happened to them, and how Esau might have killed them in past lives, especially during the transatlantic slave trade, man. Might have raped your wife in front of you, or fucking did a whole bunch of shit, man. So the sins of this place, man. Hey, this place is gonna be on fire for a long time, man. Like, not a long time, but like, a couple thousand years, man. You know. And Esau, this is all his doing, man. This is the pursuit of him trying to control everything instead of, receive what he's received of the heavenly. This is why we have to understand that part of this truth is contentment, man. And that's probably the hardest thing I struggle with, because, you battle that rulership mentality that we're supposed to have in this thing with also being content with what we have, you see? So it's kind of you got to find a balance there. Um, but it's easier said than done, like most things in this truth. you know. But hey, man, this place is done for, and to spiritually still be a part of this place, still believe that this place has a chance, to still believe in these people, bro. These are the same people from 2, 3 generations ago that have pictures of them having picnics with Jake hung on a tree, and little white girls smiling, and little Edomite boys just smiling. You see what I'm saying? This is how you know that the wicked go astray from the womb. If a kid sees a man hanging, it should be traumatizing to them. I've been in the military, bro. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta understand. Look, when Ishmael gets traumatized from seeing their fucking family and friends get blown up. Yeah, it radicalizes them even more, but guess what? The kids cry when they see dead bodies, when they see fucking, a whole bunch of shit, man. And, I'm thankful for my time because it taught me a few things, you know what I'm saying? And I was supposed to be there, and, you sit through classes, and, you have people that come out and talk that work for, the government, and they tell you, a lot of things about, over there, man, and because you got to learn the culture, and you learn a lot, man. They portray Ishmael as Allahu Akbar. They're not afraid of death, man. But those kids cry, man, when they see death around them. You see what I'm saying? Granted, it's their people, but they have human reactions. Now, I want you to go look up pictures of lynchings of Jacob, you know. And I said pictures because they did this while cameras were invented. This isn't something that was a long time ago. You see what I'm saying? They did this when cameras were invented, man. When cameras were expensive. So they took pride and they took joy in lynching, Jacob. And I want you to go look at these Judite, the highest of the tribes, the pinnacle of man, being hung from a tree. You see what I'm saying? And we'll look at the young Edomite children. They have no fear. It doesn't affect them. They think it's a normal thing. This is why the scriptures say that the wicked go estranged from the womb, man. This is why Obadiah 1 and 18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. Because, man, they are a sick, degenerate people. Yes, Jacob is going to have Edomite concubines in the kingdom, but they're going to be done away with after their punishment because they are the human version of a virus, man. They pollute, they steal, they take, they're self-entitled, they're pretentious, they're everything dangerous to humanity, man. And shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. And that's period, point blank. So after the servitude, after the recompense, you see what I'm saying? There's no need to have these people that were only created for iniquity and wickedness. This is why it says that Moab is a washpot, because he's meant to be a servant. He's meant to be tributary to Jake, just like Elam and Japheth, Ammon and Moab, and everybody else. You see, but Esau was a whooping stick from the Heavenly Father. But they've gone too far. They're created in iniquity, man. Shalakia, man, I had to go put the fucking cat up. But, anyways, um, like I was saying, you know, they've fulfilled their purpose. You see, they're fulfilling their purpose now and trying to play the Heavenly Father, be the man so evil that he would try to be like the Heavenly Father, control everybody, control everything, you know, more than he was given the right to. You see what I'm saying? Because the birthright was Jacob's. So because of that, what need for is there that in the world when iniquity is wiped away from Israel, man? We can't even picture it. We try to picture it, but we can't picture it. Israel that's totally in line, that's perfectly in check, that's totally healthy, that's, impervious to anything, you know. Um, but, you know, us being the Heavenly Father's chosen, you can't have, two people fighting for the throne if we're supposed to dwell in everlasting peace. Now, if it was Game of Thrones and you just want us to beat their ass forever, that's one thing, but, it's about peace, you know. It's about peace, So, after you rebuild the kingdom, after you're in the depths of those pits, mining whatever we need you to, after you've gotten your ass beat, after you've gotten your woman ravished, after you've gotten your heritage and all that pride beat out of you, after you've gotten double what's happened to Jacob, there's going to be no more of you, man, and it's a beautiful thing to look forward to, and part of the truth is hoping and praying that you could be a part of that number, that put Esau in subjection. But it takes, it's not just a shallow woman, the live feed. It's not just being on the comment board. It's about being active, It's about being active, But it also goes to predestination because, the Most High is only going to put that inkling. He's only going to put that fire. He's only going to um, enlighten those who he deems need it. But guess what? That doesn't even guarantee you a ride on the ships because guess what? We have to remember, and this is it's about keeping you humble, nigga. And I'm realizing that now. It's about keeping us humble, you know. Just because you're giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and that means that the Most High had to give it to you, and that means He had to deal with you and sup with you to an extent, doesn't mean that you've made it. And we don't want to be one of those people that make it till the very end and then suck it down and just take the chip because you're tired of suffering and you're tired of starving and you're tired of this and you're tired of that. So we have to be very thankful that we even remain and endure in this truth, man. And we have to pray that we can endure to the very end so we can be saved, man. But, we also know that this place isn't going to be here forever, man. So, where should your mind be? Our eyes need to be single, on the focus on the kingdom because that is the true beginning, man. This is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. So our eyes are supposed to be on the big picture. Think about it. Any man who can't focus on the big picture is doomed to be fooled, man. But if you could focus on the big picture, you everything else falls in line, man. You see what I'm saying? So, just keep your eyes on the kingdom. We got to endure this bullshit. There's always going to be some monkey riches in there, and just understand that, we're blessed to know this truth, man. And knowing this truth, we know that nothing's guaranteed to us, man. So, we got to hope and pray that we get to be, of that number. That's the biggest thing, being of that number, man. Being able to bring down this captive, or not captive, but captor. Being able to recompense those who have troubled us, man. That's a real reward, But hey, it's not up to us. All we can do is, give our best, endure this life, in the bitterness thereof to the best of our ability, and hope, and all hope, suck, that the Heavenly Father, be merciful, you know. Um, but with that, hey, hey, Esau's almost out of here, man. His time's almost up, man. Which means, judgment's right behind that, man. And that's the point. E's time is almost up, man. Shit or get off the pot, as they say, And with that, I hope this, lifted your spirits a little bit. Let you know, hey, man, this devil's not going to get away with all that shit he's doing, man. He's going to pay for every Jake, 2/3 or not, man. You know? The entirety of Esau is going to pay for every Jake, man. Even Edomites that, or your so-called regular Edomites, hey, they going to get the wrath of the Heavenly Father for every single Jake, man. And with that, I hope it's edifying. I hope this build up your spirit. I hope this help you let go of this place, Babylon, because this place is gone, man. Straight up. Yahabashim Yahshua Ratazah, this was edifying to somebody, build somebody's spirit up, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahushua Bashem, Howard Kakwadash, that belongs, of course, to the apostle, notice a great millstone who rule well. Honest to you, I came out there doing this work of truth, sincerity, presenting bodies, living sacrifices, and the shalom to the hopeful 1/3. Shalom.